Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a good day so far today. If you're watching it early in the morning, that's a safe bet. um, I've been thinking over the last couple of days, I've been doing a lot of reading, sort of esoteric, philosophical, different perspective things about what's going on in our world and in our country and spiritually for people on the planet. And there seems to be one constant thread through a lot of these things, and that is the idea that we are experiencing a paradigm shift from the ways things have always been done in society. Some say that it's global, planet wide. Others say it's just in this country and Western culture. Um, of course, some who are looking at church structure say that, oh, that's the change that is coming about, that Phyllis Tickle talked about, how every 500 years there's a major change in church history. I'm not sure I want to limit it to any one of those. I think I would rather talk about pan paradigmatic shift. Boy, try to say that 5 times fast. Uh, just a global, an expansive, that's a good word, an expansive shift in paradigms and how we look at things and how we do things and how the pieces of our world fit together. And so I'm feeling that there probably is a paradigm shift happening. And if we take that down to the lowest, the simplest degree, that means that inside each one of us, there's a paradigm shift. Now, what do I mean by a paradigm shift? I mean that when you think about the archetypes or the structural levels on which we operate, those can be sort of the paradigm for how things are done, that there is an accepted way of doing things or way of thinking about things. And in this case, the paradigm is shifting. I think that personally, I think that it is an energy paradigm, a paradigm around the planet, where we are beginning to think of things differently. And it seems to be happening so slowly, doesn't it? Ultimately, I'm looking toward peace on earth, but I think one of the ways we will get there is through global climate awareness. And I do believe that we are hitting, some other people talk about a tipping point, and that's what shifts the paradigm, shifts the structure for the basic assumptions. That might be where some people enter into this idea of paradigm shift. I think there are many on ramps, as they say. I think climate change is one of them. I think human rights is one of them. Racial equality, LGBTQ equality, transforming the justice system in our country. All of these things that need to be done, we must not see them as separate entities. We have to see them with a through line that goes, connects them all. And that through line is this paradigm shift. That there is a massive energy wanting to shift things from how we used to be to who we are becoming. And it's happened at different points throughout human history. The Enlightenment, for instance, or moving out of the Dark Ages and into the Renaissance. So I don't know what I want you to do about this. Maybe it's just to be aware and see what you think. I believe that if we open ourselves up to these possibilities and talk about them and share our insights, then it facilitates that sort of transformation happening. So I encourage you to just Google paradigm shift and then start seeing what you get in the different fields that I mentioned, religion, science, anthropology, those kinds of things. And realize that no matter what is shifting, God is still God, and the Spirit is still the Spirit, and Jesus is still the Christ. And that's kind of important to this whole thing, because you see, I think, personally, I believe that God uses small groups of people to change things. My friend Rachel calls them eschatological communities. Throughout history, human history, we've had these little tiny groups that had a disproportionate effect on the larger world, and they were able to bring in new ideas and energy to go with them. And I think that that's what's happening now, too, with smaller groups, some of the on-ramps that I just mentioned. But it's important for us as believers to realize that God is what ties all of this together, and that God does bring about paradigm changes. And furthermore, if a group is poised to make that kind of change and they don't make it, God will work through other groups to bring about the changes. I think that's why we have so many of these on-ramps to the paradigm change. Where's it going to end up? I don't know. It will probably be after my lifetime. I'm thinking it may take 100 or 200 years, but I think that we are at the very beginning of a paradigm change. And that's why people who do a lot of energy work or a lot of meditative work or working with others in the helping professions, we are all sensing a real change in how to do our jobs. The way we used to do them, those ways don't work anymore. And we're finding and creating new ways of interacting and new ways of being. So that's my thought as we start this new week. It's about paradigm changes and how they're going to affect us. I'd be interested in hearing from some of you as to how you experience this in your own life. Where is it that the old ways of doing things, you've always done them that way, they've always been successful, now they're not working anymore? And for those of you who haven't thought in these terms before, it's an invitation to do so. We are sitting on the threshold of paradigm change. Thanks for this prayerful pause with the pastor. Maybe it was an uneasy prayer today. That's okay. These things spur us onward and make us think, I think. Anyway, I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York, and I appreciate you joining me for this prayerful pause. Time to think of something greater than ourselves. Hope you have a great week, everybody. I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye for now.